Good evening. Armed gunmen opened fire on a home while people slept inside. A horrifying situation faced by residents on opposite sides of the GTA last night.
Remarkably, in both cases, no one was injured, but those inside the homes were left shaken. We begin tonight in Brampton with CTV's Rahim Ladani. Rahim.
Nathan and Michelle, good evening. Peel police say this was a targeted style shooting. However, they're not sure who the intended target is right now. What makes this investigation more complex is the fact that the property owner does not actually live inside the house. It is rented out to multiple different tenants, one of whom I had the chance to speak with.
Yeah, he guys is sleeping.
Inches away from being shot in their sleep, this is one of the dozens of bullet holes which pierced through this home in Brampton overnight. What were you thinking?
Everyone is scared.
Manjinder Danoa is one of at least 4 people renting space in this home on Senwood Street. Surveillance video shows a vehicle drive up and stop in front of the home at 2:15 Wednesday morning. A minute after turning the corner, 2 people can be seen walking towards the house. One of them appears to be recording what's about to happen next. Another angle captures one of the suspects firing at the house several times. Danoa says it sounded like a machine gun. How many shots did you hear?
Me 26.
The bullets were fired at the cars in the driveway, garage, and powerful enough to penetrate the front of the house, through one of the bedrooms and across the upstairs hallway. The heavy gunfire also waking up other neighbors on the street.
It is frustrating. We've watched this neighborhood completely change in the last couple of years. My parents are getting up there in age, and I'm not here all the time. It's rough, and being woken up by the sound of gunshots outside your window isn't normal.
Peel police say this was a targeted style shooting, but that it's too soon to know if the home was the intended target or not. Area residents say there are constantly new tenants in the house and allege this past February they saw people living in a car in the driveway. Danoa says he has been here for 2 years without incident and that the property owner is a good guy.
John is the best. My John is the best. There's a CTV camera, after the lock, everything changed.
Does he know why it happened?
No.
Danoa says he's thankful no one inside the home was hurt. Handling this case is the 22 Criminal Investigations Bureau, but at this time they have not released any descriptions of the suspects or the vehicle involved. Reporting live, I'm Rahim Ladani. I'll send it back to you both in studio.
Thank you, Rahim. Next to Oshawa, where a mother is shocked after bullets pierced the wall of her daughter's bedroom.
Police say 14 shots were fired into a housing complex. CTV's John Musselman is live tonight at the scene with more. John.
Well, Michelle, I'll start by telling you that the daughter was not in her bed when this happened, but it didn't make it any easier for her mother to digest what happened when we spoke to her today.
Thank God that she was not here.
Gabby Bilo says if the bullet was a few inches higher, it would have struck her 12-year-old daughter. You can see the bullet hole in the wall underneath the bed. Thankfully, the girl was not home. She was staying at her dad's house last night.
I haven't processed what has happened yet. I just keep thinking about, had my daughter's been home and her bed been a normal size bed and not a loft bed, she would most likely not be with us today.
A second bullet entered the ceiling in the living room. Forensic officers removed both for examination. Bilo says she will tell her daughter what happened when she comes home this weekend. They have lived in this end unit for 11 years.
There have been shootings in the past, but never bullets in my walls.
Longtime neighbors at this complex near Taunton Road and Mary Street in Oshawa call the gun violence disturbing. The shots rang out around 2 a.m., striking a number of exterior walls in the complex.
It's horrible. That is horrible. I don't understand people anymore and why they do these things.
Horrible. I don't know as a parent how would I feel if that had happened.
Durham's police chief is not happy either. He posted this to social media. Quote, again, last night we saw 14 shots fired into a housing complex. Families were home sleeping while one or more cowards fired indiscriminately. We are very lucky no one was hurt.
Our community is shaken by this incident, and we are taking it incredibly seriously, and we are investigating it. We are appealing to anybody to please come forward as a witness or any video footage.
The motive for the shooting is unknown, and there is little in the way of suspect information. Meanwhile, Below says it may be time for her and her daughter to move to a new neighborhood. So if you know anything about this, as the police mentioned, or if you have any dash camera security video, you're asked to contact Durham Regional Police. Reporting live, I'm John Musselman. Michelle, back to you.
Thank you, John. And still ahead, the latest on the cleanup at King and Spadina, which remains closed one day after a garbage truck caused significant damage to the streetcar wires.
But first, a look at the forecast. There's a live shot of the city. A bit chilly out there, so bundle up if you're doing any activity like skating. But a dramatic drop in temperatures is also coming as we get closer to the first day of winter. Jessica Smith is here with a look at the current conditions. Hey, Jess.
Hey, it's not too bad out there right now temperature-wise. Still relatively mild, but as Nathan mentioned, it does cool down significantly, dramatically so as we head into the weekend. We've seen some wet flurries throughout the day today, a bit of a breezier westerly wind this afternoon for now. If you're further east, say Mississauga, you're looking at some light flurries, but really the downtown core at eastern Ontario holding on to just cloud cover right now. But it wraps up for almost everybody as we head through the evening. Temperature-wise, we're still sitting comfortably around 2 degrees, but it feels like -2. So with the right layers, comfortable for getting out and maybe going skating and enjoying this kind of mild break. Right now through the islands, we're at 3, through Pearson sitting at 2. We are still watching for the chance of a light wet flurry this evening. A break from the active weather tomorrow, but as we head in towards Friday, some flurries are expected, and then the weekend, as we welcome in winter, will be absolutely freezing. We'll switch gears right now, and it's time now to check in with our Andrea Case as we continue to build a toy mountain. Miss Andrea, where are you today?
I am at the Best Buy in Etobicoke, where we're building a toy mountain. They practiced that. They're doing so well. We've got so many people here today. Come on, Francis, come with me. We have Laura from TSN, and it's fitting that Laura's here from TSN because we also have Joe and Frank from Blind Hockey. But first, my dear, why is it important that you come out? You could be covering sports. World Juniors is coming up. There's so much going on in the world of sports. Why did you want to come out today?
Toy Mountain has always been such an important thing with my family. When I was a kid, we would always make it an event and come with unwrapped gifts. And as I've gotten older, I wanted to stay involved with the cause. And, you know, whether it's donating time, donating money, because every kid deserves to wake up on Christmas Day with a present to open. And, you know, there's always that sweet spot too, right? They say, I think 10 to 15 years old that don't get a lot of presents. So if we can do our part and put a smile on somebody's face, I mean, how can you say no to that, right, Andrea?
Some of your coverage is a gift to people. So we have Joe and Frank from Blind Hockey. Young man, why did you want to come out today?
You know, going to different hockey tournaments and partnering with Toy Mountain, I think it's huge to kind of put this into the hockey community and show them that they can give back just little things by giving toys to kids. So to instill that into the youth hockey community, it's been huge for me.
And I know your son is probably the best gift you've ever had, but what's your favorite Christmas memory?
Oh my gosh, you know, my favorite Christmas memory, unfortunately, doesn't involve him. It involves getting a little red truck when I was 5 years old, and that's why I think it's so important to get these gifts for kids so they can feel that magic that Christmas is. And this kid, he is magic.
Okay, well, lots of magic happening here today. So many special guests we have coming in, so stay with us. There's more to come as we build a Toy Mountain. Back to you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Andrea. Oh, that was heartwarming. A major Toronto intersection remains closed tonight, and it is not a quick fix.
The complex repair effort at King and Spadina continues after a garbage truck took out overhead streetcar wires. CTV's Mike Walker spent a second day at the site where officials warn more days of disruption are ahead. Mike.
Well, Nathan Michelle, the TTC, saying its crews will continue to work around the clock over the next couple of days. The likelihood this intersection will reopen is sometime Friday. And for transit riders and drivers, that means plenty of detours and a slightly longer commute. Crews working around the clock repairing a spider web of streetcar wires brought down by a garbage truck. A complex job that the TTC says will keep the busy King and Spadina intersection closed for the rest of the week.
It's an inconvenience, no doubt.
A lot of people take this route, so I can understand. It's definitely a lot.
It was during the morning rush hour Tuesday that a garbage truck with a bin race took down the wires. Today, the TTC said its engineers are still assessing the damage and the extent of the repairs.
Because as you can see, there's a lot of intricate pieces that go into this structure. It's not just the cabling, it's the suspension, it's the tension that keeps the cables tight. They have to go through and look at all of that, and then they'll start restoring things as they can. We're optimistic by the end of the week.
Until then, Spadina will be closed between Adelaide and Front, and King shut down between Brant and Charlotte. Several streetcar routes, including the King Spadina and Lakeshore, detouring around the area, resulting in longer commutes.
I work in Mississauga, so I have to take the longer route all the way, and I've been walking for 10 minutes. 20 minutes late now.
Some opting to walk instead.
The 504 was actually rerouted, so I had to actually walk for 15 minutes.
The detour is adding to already congested streets in the core as drivers attempt to navigate around the closures.
We came out to buy our lunch and now we're stuck here. Now my half-hour lunch is gone already, and I probably is going to take me another 10-15 minutes.
Cars all the way, backing up all the way into Blue Jays. It's completely choked.
The circumstances that led to the garbage truck to drive through the intersection with a bin raised, still not clear.
Someone should be held accountable for that.
The repairs will be costly. How much isn't yet known. But the TTC says the garbage truck company will likely be on the hook.
Certainly we have remedies in terms of how we could recoup that money through insurance claims against the company that was involved if they're found responsible, but that we're sort of a ways away from that still.
At this point, police say no charges have been laid against the garbage truck driver. The TTC says at this point it appears the intersection could reopen Friday evening. It's possible it could reopen earlier, but they say that all depends on the complexity of the repair work. Reporting live, I'm Mike Walker. Nathan, back to you.
Thank you, Mike. And one person is dead after a car crash in Pickering. It happened this morning near Brock Road and Highway 7. Police say a black Audi sedan was heading southbound on Brock Road when the driver lost control, left the road, and struck a large tree. 2 people in the car were ejected when it rolled over. A woman died at the scene, and 3 others were transported to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Tonight, a 20-year-old from Quebec is facing a number of charges, including dangerous operation causing death. And a 16-year-old girl's in hospital after being struck by a vehicle in Scarborough. It happened around 7:15 this morning near Markham and Blake Manor Boulevard. The teenager was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries. The driver involved, an 84-year-old man, remained at the scene.
2 teenagers are in hospital following a shooting in Scarborough. This happened shortly before 8:30 last night in the area of Lawrence Avenue and Orton Park Road. Police say 2 teens were found with gunshot wounds and taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. A light-colored vehicle was spotted leaving the scene. Police have not provided details on possible suspects. They are asking anyone with information to come forward.
And one person is in hospital following a shooting in Etobicoke. It happened shortly after 5 p.m. yesterday near Dixon Road and Kent Royal Drive. Police responded to reports of a vehicle being shot at. They say the victim was dropped off at a hospital by an unknown person. The victim's injuries are considered non-life-threatening, and police have not given any details on possible suspects. They're asking anyone with any information to come forward.
3 British citizens have been charged in the death of a restaurant owner in Owen Sound. 44-year-old Sharifur Rahman died in August of last year following an assault. He was attacked by 3 men after asking them to settle their bill when he was closing his restaurant for the night. The suspects have been identified as 24-year-old Robert Evans, 47-year-old Robert Busby Evans, and 54-year-old Barry Evans. Police say the 24-year-old is charged with manslaughter, while the 2 other suspects are charged with accessory after the fact. The trio is facing extradition hearings in the UK.
Still ahead, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's future in question. The mounting call for him to step down and the speculation of a pre-Christmas cabinet shuffle. We'll take you to Parliament Hill for the latest on the power struggle. But first, City Council approved a proposal today to push for improved pay for rideshare drivers.
But opponents of the plan say it's not an issue the city should be fighting, given that it's outside of its jurisdiction. CTV's Natalie Johnson has more.
1 week after the mayor sent a plan to limit the number of rideshare drivers back to the drawing board.
How could anyone in Toronto survive with $6 an hour?
Olivia Chow was calling on council to take a stand on the wages of workers who drive for companies like Uber and Lyft.
It should be able to be a good job and decent work.
A city report suggested that after expenses, rideshare drivers netted less than $6 an hour, taking into account all time, not just engaged time, on the platform. A number Uber disputes in a letter to the city alleging, quote, severe methodological flaws in the finding.
It's great to take an Uber. It's great to take a Lyft. People like to do it. But really and truly, Here's what's happening to all of those drivers.
Problem is,
wages and employment standards are the responsibility of the province of Ontario.
meaning any call by council on the issue is largely symbolic.
I think it's important that we put some pressure on the gig economy to try to look at how they can be more fair.
But the province, for its part, has already passed a bill that mandates the minimum wage for engaged time for rideshare drivers, set to come into effect in July. The mayor writing to the Labour minister that, quote, the reality is that most drivers' hourly earnings get wiped out by their costs.
We cannot turn a blind eye to injustice.
Council today voting 21-2 to launch a communications campaign to boost the wages of rideshare drivers.
All my colleagues have just sort of put their hands up and say, yeah, let's spend undisclosed amounts of money, millions of dollars, running a PR campaign to advocate for changes that have already been made. That's nuts.
The mayor's team insisted, though, that it is money well spent, even if it's beyond the city's jurisdiction.
To say Torontonians don't care about these workers is, again, hogwash. I say horse feathers.
The rideshare file once again driving debate within council, even when wages are governed well beyond the walls of City Hall. Natalie Johnson, CTV News.
To Ottawa and the power struggle on Parliament Hill, where Justin Trudeau's future as Prime Minister and Liberal leader remains unclear.
The PM has canceled his year-end interviews with news outlets and has yet to publicly discuss Chrystia Freeland's departure amid growing unrest among some in his own party. CTV's Mike Couture reports.
While the future of the Prime Minister remains the biggest question on Parliament Hill, there is also speculation of a pre-Christmas cabinet shuffle before the end of the week.
Mr. Smith, have you been approached to take on the housing file by the Prime Minister?
I got to figure that out later today or sometime next week.
Have you been approached?
Not exactly. Just yet.
Toronto MP Nate Erskine-Smith had announced he wouldn't be running again for the Liberals. However, that calculation may have changed.
If there was an opportunity to make an even bigger difference on a really important file, maybe it's worth to, maybe it's worth to revisit the conversation about what the sacrifice looks like.
Clear path, please. Clear path. It comes as calls for Justin Trudeau to step down are getting even more forceful. New Brunswick MP Wayne Long wrote a letter to caucus colleagues calling for the Prime Minister to step aside, adding the mishandling of Chrystia Freeland's resignation was embarrassing, writing, quote, it's an indictment of the chaos and insularity within the Prime Minister's inner circle. But Trudeau's supporters continue to stand by him.
I know the Prime Minister is very committed to building a strong Canada. He's devoted his political life doing that. And
is he still the right person for the job?
I have confidence in him because he's a strong leader.
Opposition parties have lost confidence in Trudeau, but NDP leader Jagmeet Singh won't commit to bringing down the minority Liberal government.
So I'm not going to box myself in. But what I can tell people is there will be an election in 2025, sure, and I'm ready to fight it.
Former Chief of Staff to Prime Minister Jean Chrétien, Eddie Goldenberg, believes the time for change is now, and he's encouraging current cabinet and caucus members to rally behind former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland, especially as Donald Trump prepares to retake the Oval Office.
All the premiers, after she left, said that she was the one that they really needed as Captain Canada.
Goldenberg believes it's important for Trudeau to step down quickly so that a new leader can be in place by early in the new year. Mike Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
88 Canadians who have made significant contributions to their communities and the country are being honored.
Appointments to the Order of Canada were announced today. And here's a look at some of the notable recipients. The Governor General's office says actor Ryan Reynolds has captivated audience worldwide, notably writing, producing, and starring in the widely successful Deadpool films. Off-screen, he supports Canadian causes, including Water First Education, Covenant House Vancouver, and Sick Kids Foundation. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif is being recognized for being a team player on and off the football field. The Super Bowl champion suspended his professional career to provide frontline COVID-19 support in Canada. He also uses art and sports to promote educational success among school-age children. Kevin Martin has also been appointed. He's widely seen as Canada's all-time greatest male curler. Martin helped guide the sport's competitive development, including the establishment of the Grand Slam of curling. And Tricia Smith is also being appointed. The president of the Canadian Olympic Committee, lawyer and former rower, is a longtime advocate of women in sport. New members will receive their insignia during a ceremony at Rideau Hall. A date has not yet been announced.
You never know who you're going to run into here at Best Buy in Etobicoke. This couple here, your name is?
Crystal.
And?
Ramesh.
And they just walked in with tons and tons of toys. Why did you decide to come to this store today and drop off your toys?
So we have a large group of friends, and every year for the past 5 years, my husband and I, we've arranged a toy drive, and we try to get about like 100 toys from all of our friends to give back to the community.
Wow, and so we're very thankful. What's your message to folks out there who haven't donated yet?
You still have time. I believe it's till Friday.
That's right.
So please come on and support Toy Mountain by CTV. Happy holidays.
Thanks very much. Okay, so thank you for coming. Okay, so this group here is from Fortigo Transportation, and Fortigo is Greek for?
Truck. Transportation.
There you go. So they had no trouble bringing their stuff here. You brought a ton of toys here. Why did you as an organization decide to get involved in Toy Mountain?
Well, we're in transportation, and making deliveries is what we do, but giving and making sure that we take care of those who need help is who we are. And that's right from ownership across our whole organization. A number of us are here today representing our entire group and very happy to participate in this event.
So we all know how tough it is to drive on the streets of Toronto and the GTA. What message do you have to drivers out there when they see your trucks coming down the road?
If you bought it, a truck brought it. So please respect the trucks, and we'll respect the motorists as well.
Okay, well, that's great. Thank you very much. So much more coming from Best Buy in Etobicoke as we build a... Let's send it back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Andrea. Thanks, everybody. Well, coming up, serving up one of the luxuries of the holiday season, 1,000 turkeys delivered to families in the GTA. The opportunity to share a special meal around the holiday table.
And I'm Pat Foran. Coming up on Consumer Alert, are you planning to book a trip for the holidays or maybe surprise your family with a March break vacation? If you are, watch out you don't get scammed. Artificial intelligence is making it easier to create fake websites. I'll have my reports. That's just ahead.
And we almost hit 10 degrees yesterday, a significant cool down today, and it's only getting colder as we head into the weekend and one of the most busy travel weekends of the year. So stay safe. Coming up, I'll have your full forecast and stay with us. We have another full night of great shows for you right here on CTV.
If you're planning a vacation and hope to book it yourself, there's a warning to be careful of the negative effects of artificial intelligence.
While AI is a helpful tool, the travel industry says some scammers are using it to create fake websites and reviews. Pat Foran has more on Consumer Alert. Pat.
Thanks, Michelle and Nathan. AI makes it easier to create professional-looking websites, but in the wrong hands, it can be used by scammers, too. The travel industry says an increasing number of consumers admit they have been scammed booking travel online.
AI is being used to fast-track the creation of robotics and lead to major advances in many different technologies. It's also making it much easier to design websites. The travel industry is sounding the alarm after a growing number of complaints.
There's so many different ways that AI is enabling those that are trying to scam people.
According to a study by the Flight Center, scammers are using AI to create fake accommodation listings, fabricate realistic reviews, and impersonate travel agents online. You might believe you're speaking with an agent at a reputable firm when it's a chat bot run by a scam company. Consumers who aren't careful searching for trips could get caught in a scam.
There's listings that pop up in your search engine. You search for a certain airline, a certain travel company, and you may get a fake website or a fake phone number.
The study found 32% say they've fallen victim to travel scams, with almost half members of the Gen Z cohort. 17% admitted they were scammed by a fake listing. The best way to avoid fraud is to stick to well-known, reputable companies.
Sticking to the trusted travel brands, especially ones that are Canadian-based, that have consumer protection agencies behind them.
The Travel Industry Council of Ontario, TICO, says the travel sector is vulnerable to the negative aspects of AI.
We're hearing more and more about AI-generated ads, AI-generated websites, AI-generated chatbots.
If you book with a TICO-registered company, you may receive compensation if there are problems with a trip. TICO also advises to do your research, avoid obscure companies on social media, and stick with established agencies.
That doesn't mean you need to go to their storefront. I mean, the vast majority of bookings are done online or over the phone, and that's fine.
Watch out for travel deals with extremely low prices, which also could be a sure sign it's a scam.
And Booking.com said AI will increase travel scams by 900%. It's important to make sure you're on the proper website when booking a trip, or you could be giving scammers your personal information and your credit card number. On your side, I'm Pat Foran.
If you have a consumer story idea, email us at alert@ctv.ca.
Now, I always love seeing so many people give back in the holiday spirit this time of year.
Oh, this is primetime giving time. Andrea Case is in Etobicoke tonight with a special guest. Andrea.
I am, Michelle. I'm here with a special guest. I could really call him the king of Etobicoke, but it's the premier of Ontario. Doug Ford is here. And Doug, we're going to just show our viewers a video of Mike Myers and his message for Toy Mountain, then I'll get your reaction. Okay. Roll it.
Toy Mountain in support of Salvation Army is well underway till December 20th. You can make a difference by dropping a new unwrapped toy at a drop-off location near you. Bring a smile to a kid. You know, Canadians take care of Canadians. We don't need to be anybody's 51st state.
Okay, Premier, you've had a really busy few days, a really busy week. One bit of politicking here. Why are you fighting for this province the way in which you are fighting for this province?
Well, you know, something Mike said it perfectly, and thank you, Mike, for that. We'll never be the 51st state. We're Canada. We're proud to be Canadians. We'll always fight for that, and I'm just so proud of all the premiers and my team, our caucus, but I'm really proud of CTV and Salvation Army, Brian, his whole team. I love the Salvation Army. My dad loved the Salvation Army. My family's always loved the Salvation Army. But this is going to make a lot of kids happy, and I just want to thank my team for coming out today and bringing toys and making sure that when kids wake up in the morning at Christmas, they have a smile on their face. So thank you, CTV, and again, thank you, Salvation Army.
Okay, so you brought a lot of your team here, and we'll get them all to do a big Toy Mountain wave at the back. Yeah. Michael's in the back there. He's looking pretty healthy because we know he wasn't well. Brian, you know the Premier because you're both here in Etobicoke. What does it mean to have this type of support?
Well, we're just so grateful to the Premier for the support that you've given for Toy Mountain and the Salvation Army. We know Ontarians, some are struggling this year, and this is going to be really helpful for putting toys under the tree. So thankful for your support.
Thank you.
Okay, so a lot of people say, well, you know, he's the Premier, so he always does good things. People want to know, are you on the naughty list or the nice list, Premier? If Santa was here, what would he say?
Well, Santa would say I'm on the good list. Some people may say I'm on the naughty list, but we're just trying to do everything we can to make sure Ontario prospers. I want to wish everyone a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, healthy and prosperous New Year, and God bless the people of Ontario.
Okay, so we've asked everyone to say this more than once, but now that we've got you here, we want to hear everyone with their loudest voice to say, thank you for helping us build a Toy Mountain! Good to see you. We'll send it back.
As always, much appreciated.
Yeah, that was great. Delivering
now.
a whole bunch of toys.
Yeah.
It's really exciting when the Premier and his whole team come out to support this cause.
Yes.
And the weather's cooperating for anybody traveling around the GTA tonight.
If you still want to make a donation, it's not a bad night to be out commuting as far as the weather goes. We're kind of cooperating when it comes to that, but it is one of our last days kind of around that seasonal mark before it just gets absolutely freezing. But it is December after all, so we are expecting this bit of a cool down, but heading into the weekend, it goes from one extreme to the other, and we're looking at wind chill values at a certain point this weekend close to -25. But we're not there just yet. We're holding on at a fairly comfortable point, so if you wanted to get out and get active, you absolutely can. Now, the cloud cover has been the name of the game throughout the majority of our day today, and that continues as we head into the evening. We saw those wet flurries early on. They've kind of transitioned into some light flurries as we head into kind of that west end of the GTA, but for the most part, it's just a lot of cloud cover as we head in towards our Wednesday evening. Temperature-wise tonight, we're sitting at 2. It feels just a little cooler, but overall the winds are fairly light. We'll see them become northwesterly this evening, and that starts to add that bit of a chill to the air, and this cooler air will start to sink down and overtake everybody. Tonight, though, we're sitting at -3. Yes, it is cooler. You factor in the wind chill, and it really just feels seasonal, all things considered, and that's the same for almost everybody. But those wind chill values are creeping into the double digits, and frostbite can happen very quickly when it gets that cold. Into the day tomorrow, we dip below seasonal for the first time in a while, but you get a little bit of sunshine, so it's kind of a trade-off, right? We had that cloud cover, that messy weather It was relatively mild, but as we head into the next few days, it is going to cool down pretty significantly. The bulk of that messy, wet snow we saw pushes its way out, and overnight we're, for the most part, across the GTA, done with any active weather. Into the day tomorrow, a little sunshine to start. The cloud cover comes first, and then another round of flurry activity. This time actually falling as flurries, light, but still, because of that cool down that's on the way and that change in our wind direction. A few light clouds this evening, but really it's not all that bad. Into the day tomorrow, a little bit of sunshine for our commutes to and from our destinations. I know it is a busy travel time. Maybe you're off a little early, heading into the holidays. Tomorrow, the better travel day if you want to look at Thursday and Friday. We head into our Thursday evening, just some cloud cover out there, and then the flurries start to push through. Again, heavier areas just a little bit south of us and west of us, but for the most part, everybody gets a little flurry activity into that midpoint of our Friday, and then it pushes its way east as we head into the evening. So it's not an all-day flurry affair, but if you're tracking or traveling east as you head in towards the end of the week, keep that in mind and give yourself that time. A little cool tomorrow, a little cooler Friday, really cold on Saturday. So just dress accordingly. It is winter in Canada after all, but we have seen this kind of up and down with our forecast over the past couple of days and weeks. We head into your Friday, again, those light flurries midday. Don't do too much in the way of a significant accumulation, but it will impact your commute if you're traveling midday. We kick off the winter solstice on Saturday. That daytime high just -8, but that -17 feeling closer to -25. Sunny on Sunday, and then we start to see a little bit of a reprieve heading into Christmas. Michelle.
Thank you, Jess. Also tonight, empty shelves amid great need. A peek behind the scenes at Peel Children's Aid as they aim to help families this holiday season as they deal with a drop in donations. Staff with Peel Children's Aid are counting on the spirit of the season to help replenish their empty shelves.
CTV's Pauline Chan visited their offices and spoke with an executive who knows firsthand how valuable their work is.
My parents separated when I was 8, so that experience, being raised with a single mother, led us to an interaction, I guess, with the Children's Aid Society in our local communities.
It wasn't a lengthy experience, but Marianne Kerr says confirmation from Children's Aid that she and her siblings were okay allowed them to stay together and avoid foster care. And now she's come full circle as CEO of the Children's Aid Foundation.
It's deeply meaningful every single day, because I understand what these kids are going through, right? I grew up with a home that was unstable. There was violence in our home before my dad left.
But as we surveyed the Community Care Center in Peel, many shelves had empty spaces.
All of the items here, or the resources that are provided out of this Community Care Center, are used to support over 8,000 families here in the Peel region.
Kerr says corporate and individual donations are noticeably down. And while donations of new items are always appreciated, financial donations are essential to fill the gaps.
They get to pick their kids' gifts. They get to buy the food that is relevant for their holiday. So that's really what we're doing. We're giving the gift of giving.
Although this community care center operates year-round, Christmas and back to school are the two busiest times of year.
Not just for Christmas. We do Eid, we do Kwanzaa, we do Hanukkah, right? For every holiday, whatever is important to your family.
A lot of companies want to give things like toys and stuff, which are great, and we can give kids that kind of joy during this time of season. But on the other side, a lot of other in-kind donations are really important. So things like toiletries, giving gift cards, things like that, even winter gear, coats, boots, hats, mitts, things like that are really important during this time of year.
The center started as a Christmas operation, but evolved over the years to meet the needs of all families. Go to cafontario.org for more information. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Thousands of toddler step stools are being recalled. Health Canada says the step stool is an entrapment hazard because of the space between the bars on the back of the product. More than 6,600 of the affected Awesome Canada Inc. stools were sold in this country from July 2021 to October 2024. The recall was issued after a child's head got stuck in one of them.
Christmas is a week away, and a local charity is helping to make sure families can enjoy a turkey dinner.
CTV's Beth McDonnell has more on the Good Vibes Foundation's turkey drive.
It's a mega haul of turkeys to make this season merry around the GTA.
Today, with the Good Vibes Foundation, we are helping 1,000 families by donating 1,000 turkeys to these families across the Toronto Catholic District School Board and Durham.
The truck full of 12 to 15-pound halal turkeys is making the rounds at more than half a dozen schools and community centers in Toronto, Pickering, Ajax, and Oshawa, where families can pick them up. Tracy Uyi has 4 children between 11 and 4.
This is very difficult to spend for grocery, and I appreciate this so much. Thank you.
At Monsignor Percy Johnson Catholic Secondary School in Etobicoke and James Cardinal McGuigan Catholic High School in North York, student volunteers were in the thick of the effort, making a difference.
Sad, right? It's unfortunate. There's nothing we can really do about it other than, help each other, host events like these more often.
I'm actually really happy it's happening at our school. A lot of good things happen at our school. And it's really great seeing that my community is giving back to everyone.
I think it's really important that everyone gets the opportunity to have turkey as part of their Christmas dinner or Christmas party.
The Good Vibes Foundation focuses on mental health and food insecurity. The turkeys made possible with its partners and donors. With the rising cost of living, it says since 2019, food bank usage has doubled.
It feels amazing giving back to the community and our kids. They're really special kids and families, and we care for them each and every day, but in the Christmas spirit, giving them turkeys is extra special.
The extra special gift of a turkey, bringing happiness to the holidays.
I will share with my friends and my loved ones that come around. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
To come over here to take the turkey, I'm so grateful. I say may God bless the people that brought this turkey for us.
Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
After the break, Canada Post sends a message to Santa Claus. Letters to the North Pole will arrive before Christmas. But kids, listen up. There's a catch.
Virgin River Star joins live tomorrow on CP24 Breakfast. Canada's own Candace McClure shares what's coming next for the hit series, CP24 Breakfast, where Toronto gets its everything every morning.
I haven't processed what has happened yet. I just keep thinking about, had my daughter's been home and her bed been a normal size bed and not a loft bed, she would most likely not be with us today.
Updating our top stories, gunfire rips into homes in Oshawa and Brampton overnight. The 2 incidents, not believed to be related, were a disturbing wake-up call for those inside. Nobody was injured in either shooting. Police are investigating.
It's an inconvenience, no doubt.
A lot of people could take this route, so I can understand. It's definitely a lot.
Another day of delays at the intersection of King and Spadina. It remains closed following a garbage truck taking out TTC streetcar wires. Officials say it could be the end of the week before things are back to normal.
How can anyone in Toronto survive with $6 an hour?
And the mayor is leading a call to boost the wages of Toronto's rideshare drivers. The city plans to launch a PR campaign to help boost the wages of ride-for-hire drivers. Critics point out the issue is outside of the city's jurisdiction.
Remember to keep up to date day and night at ctvnewstoronto.ca and by downloading the CTV News app. And if you ever have a news tip, photos, or video of breaking news, let us know.
It was a down day on the markets overall. The dollar ended at 69.29 cents U.S. Oil finished down 61 cents at $55.62 a barrel. And the TSX ended the day down more than 562 points, closing at 24,557.
The Business Report is brought to you by Canadian Western Bank, the bank built for business.
The mail is moving again after Canada Post employees were ordered back to work yesterday, but it will take time for deliveries to get back up to speed.
It is a little bit too close to Christmas time for orders to get out on time, for customers to receive them prior to Christmas. However, this does provide some sort of respite for the business community.
Service guarantees are being suspended and parcels won't be accepted until tomorrow. The Crown Corporation says package delays could last well into January, but mail destined for the North Pole will arrive by Christmas Eve. All letters with the HOH-OHO postal code sent by December 23rd will be delivered. However, Santa Claus won't have time to respond this year.
A major merger may be in the works in the automotive industry. The Nikkei newspaper is reporting talks between Honda and Nissan could begin as early as next Monday. A combination of the two would create make that a $54 billion company with annual output of 7.4 million vehicles. Both have been working together in electric vehicle development. But Nissan's increasing financial trouble has added more urgency for closer cooperation with its larger rival.
In sports, the Leafs return to the ice tonight, taking on the Stars in Dallas.
And the rebound picked up by Tatum. Drops it back to Tavares. Shoots, scores! John Tavares again! And the Leafs have grabbed the lead.
John Tavares led the way with his 14th career hat trick as the Leafs won their last game 5-3 in Buffalo. This evening, they face a Dallas team that has won 2 straight.
Now Jakes, and Darryl Watts comes in. She scores!
And the Toronto Scepters return from an 11-day break as they visit the New York Sirens. It's the home opener for New York and the only game in the PWHL tonight. Toronto won its first game before dropping the next 2.
To basketball, and Scotty Barnes has been upgraded to questionable for tomorrow night's game against Brooklyn. The Raptors All-Star took part in a full contact practice today after missing 2 games with that sprained right ankle. He injured it after blocking a shot against the New York Knicks on December 9th. Andrew?
Okay, so we are still at Best Buy in Etobicoke. We're here with Kim from Continental Currency Exchange. What is Continental Currency Exchange?
We are foreign exchange experts. We buy and sell foreign currency, so if anybody's going on a trip, you know where to come.
And so you're here today, but you're not here to change any money for anybody.
No.
Why are you here today, Kim?
We actually managed to raise just under $4,000 for Toy Mountain with the help of our staff getting donations from clients. And obviously our clients helped us out greatly with all those donations. So, yeah.
Is that $4,000 Jamaican dollars, American dollars, Canadian? Which currency?
It's Canadian.
Okay,
yeah.
well, round of applause for Continental Currency Exchange. Round of applause as we move along, because we've got more money. And the best thing about Best Buy is everybody has a name tag on. So hello, Mike. How are you?
Hey, how are you? How are you?
I'm Andrea. Mike, tell us why you're here today. Well, we know why we're here, but tell us what you've got for us here.
Well, we're very excited to be back supporting the Toy Mountain again. This is our 18th year, and what I'd like to say is we came together as 39 stores as well as our distribution center to come in and see all these toys behind us, so I'm very, very happy. And additional to that, we'd like to make a donation.
Where's Aaron?
$10,000 additional to SICKIT, to Toy Mountain, and to help out some kids during the holiday season.
Wonderful. This is $10,000 for the Salvation Army. We are at Best Buy in Etobicoke. We'll have more coming up as we build a
Toy Mountain!
Boy, oh boy, the big checks are piling up at Best Buy in Etobicoke.
That's right. Businesses, the Premier and his team, the public growing our Toy Mountain to impressive heights. Andrea.
Yes, absolutely. The Premier has left the building after he signed all those autographs, but I've got Marcus with me right now. Marcus, you're a familiar face to me because you were here last year.
Yep, definitely. I was here with, we were known as the Nanlau Foundation last year, and we're known as a wealth organization this year. Our goal is just to give back to our community. We're very thankful to our local business owners who have helped us to do that. And yeah, I'm hoping to be back here again next year.
And bring that smile with you, because that's a Megabot smile. Speaking of Megabot smiles here, we have Lindsay from TSN. Lindsay, your very busiest time of year. Why did you decide to come out and help at Toy Mountain?
Well, Andrea, a few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to go to the Salvation Army Distribution Center and sort toys for young boys and girls and talk to some of the volunteers who work tirelessly all year round. And you see the difference that these toys are making in the lives of little ones. And I understand these are financially uncertain times for a lot of families, but knowing that your time, your dollars, your donations are going back and supporting your community. If you have the opportunity to make any donation, No gift is too small. I think it really goes a long way.
Okay, so sports fans want to know, will the Leafs win the Cup this year?
Yes, you can hear it. Certainty right here.
Please.
We are just going to deliver your wish, right? Unbiased sports fans.
That's one wish. One wish. Come on in here, Brian. Brian, we're getting down to the crunch now. How excited you to be here today?
This is really exciting with everybody here, all the support from all our sponsors. It's so beautiful, so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm just going to run over, right? Just going to scooch in here. Major, come on in here.
Sure.
Very excited. One final push. Tell the folks how they can help, real quick.
Okay, you can take a new unwrapped toy to a Toy Mountain location in your neighborhood and drop it off, and we'll make sure that it gets out to children for Christmas. Thank you so much.
And thank you. We want to thank everyone for helping us build a
Toy Mountain!
That's it from Etobicoke.
Another big turnout. Great job.
I know, we're giving away a vehicle on Friday, too. It's exciting times.
It is, and hopefully you put your snow tires on, whether you're getting a free vehicle, you're winning it, or you're just driving your own car. It is definitely starting to transition into more wintry weather as we head in towards the end of the week. Those wet flurries have tapered off for now, but we are not done with the chance of active weather before this week is all said and done. We're sitting at 2 degrees, still feels like -2. The wind chill isn't too wicked just yet, but that changes pretty dramatically as we head into the next couple of days. That wind chill into our Friday evening is going to be cold into the double digits. It stays chilly but sunny right throughout the weekend. The good news is it warms up just in time for Christmas.
Okay. Thank you, Jess. Be sure to join Todd Vanderhayden tonight at 11 for CTV National News, followed by Zoraida Allman with our next local newscast at 11:30.
Meantime, our coverage continues anytime on CP24 and at ctvnewstoronto.ca.
For Jessica Smith and the whole team here at CTV News, Andrea Case, thanks for watching and have a wonderful night.